So you may have been dreaming of living in your RV full-time on the open road. But how much does it cost to live that life of freedom? What does it cost?
$1.99. We're breaking down our real expenses for 2025. We've kept spreadsheets all year long to share our expenses with you and keep them for us later on what it cost us to RV for the whole year.
We've kept spreadsheets, receipts, numbers. Hi, we're Katie and Brian. Not your average couple, that's for sure. After 30 years of tattooing and a career as a mortician who saw the world change after COVID, we realized life was slipping by, so we made a change. First, a sailboat to chase the horizon, and now a fifth wheel. We're living life on a budget, chasing freedom, and doing things our way. This is the No Tomorrow Project, our ongoing adventure to live differently, explore boldly, and make every day count. So join us as we learn along the way.
Today, we're breaking down our real expenses of 2025. We've kept spreadsheets all year long on what we've spent in different categories, and we're going to share it all with you.
Today we're breaking it down for year 25. How much did it cost?
This year we drove 7,630 miles, going through 2 countries,
Crossing the border 8 times.
7 states, Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Canada, from Calgary to Vancouver Island, Washington, Oregon, and back down to California.
And we even rated the boondocking spots we stayed at to see if we wanted to come back. If you want to know those top spots, stay on this channel.
Over the year, I've kept a spreadsheet on gas, how much we spent for food, takeout food, vehicle maintenance, repairs, other miscellaneous things that we've bought for the RV. And I'm pretty sure I got 99% of all the bills. Since we're living on a budget, it's really important for us to always kind of know how much money we're spending. Hopefully you guys find this helpful as well.
For the record, we are just the 2 of us traveling in our Keystone Cougar fifth wheel with a diesel truck. His name is Toady, and our Cougar's name is Cougar. Just call Lady what she is.
All right, let's get into our first category here. I'm going to be looking down because we do have a lot of numbers and stuff, so you got to forgive us a little bit.
Category number 1.
Is this a category that you'd like to take?
No, you know way more than I do. I'll take food.
For the year, for insuring both the fifth wheel, which is a 36-foot fifth wheel, and a 2025 Chevy 2500, it cost us $3,230 for the whole year. One of the reasons why that might be a little bit high is we came back to the States from sailing and we didn't have insurance or cars for over a year. So when you get insurance, they ask you if you've had insurance in the last 6 months, and I obviously had to say no. And boat insurance didn't matter. During the year, right when we first started out.
Within the first 100 miles, first starting out.
Right, first 50 miles.
Yeah, our first grand adventure, the shakedown.
Getting on the road, we had a flat tire right off the bat.
It wasn't flat, it freaking exploded.
We had an exploded tire right off the bat. It wasn't an expense that we were looking for. That cost us $340 for a new tire for the trailer, and that kind of hurt my soul a little bit. I also did something really stupid. I left the center cap on the back of the bumper and drove off without it. Ding dong. We did 1 oil change, which wasn't very much. It was a DIY for sure, which was $72 for the oil and the filter. It maybe took me an hour, and it was the first time I had ever done it. The one big purchase that I threw into the maintenance and repairs was actually our electric water heater.
And we compared that to the original propane water heater in a completely different video. So if you're wondering why we did that upgrade, that video will explain that.
It's up here somewhere. We bought that in Canada. I kept the Canadian pricing, which is roughly about $1,000. So I think it was somewhere in the $750 range to put a new water heater in our fifth wheel, which has made us way happier. Look into that video. It was, I think we really made a valid point. It really got away from any propane expenses. We have solar, so we don't use propane hardly at all, if ever, which we all know can go really fast, and propane's not cheap anymore. Last time I used it was to heat the coach, and it burnt through the whole tank in one night. Don't do that again. Total vehicle expenses for the whole year, going 7,630 miles, we spent $5,116.12. Basically breaks down to $444.88 a month.
So we have category 2, which is our miscellaneous. Small upgrades we made to our living and comfort, our outdoor chairs, ferry crossings, laundry, parking, collapse sealant. You know, if you live in an RV, just buy that right out of the bat. Just, it's like duct tape and a plunger. Just have them. Don't wait till you need them. Random tools we picked up that we needed. New drawer slides. Small little repairs here and there that we had to do.
Our biggest expenses were the ferries over to Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island for us was really just kind of maybe the vacation. The ferry crossings were roughly $800 total.
Adding all those items up, that brings us to $1,294.74. That broken down into monthly expense will be $112.58.
Category 3. Cell phone, we use a very low provider that only gives us a certain amount of data per year, per month. The cell phone's only $180, better than what my old cell phone bill was. If you guys want to know who it is, just drop a message below and I'll fill in the blanks. We also, while in Canada, we also got a SIM card and used Sally, which is an app, to get a SIM card for being over in Canada for a limited amount of data. That way we could have directions on where we wanted to go, make life easy, especially in a place like that. You're surrounded by trees and mountains. You can't really just see the horizon and where you're going. It helped out a little bit. It was a little extra cost, that totaling $41.50, so really wasn't that much. We use Starlink. We bought the unit for $379 originally. We've only used it whenever we've had a little bit of work come in, since I can work remote a little bit here and there. Starlink was $703.17. It is kind of expensive, but all internet is expensive now, right? So internet and cell phone for the whole total is $1,371.45. Broken down over 12 months, it's only $119.
Category number 4. Being in an RV, you need to carry all your water with you and all the stuff you need to flush and that goes down the sink or the toilet. So the total dumping fees were $40, and for filling with fresh water it was only $10. So that grand total was $50. We did plan our trips around trying to find free places to dump and free places to get water. And we usually looked up 2 or 3 places on the way to our destination, just in case they didn't come through or they were closed. That did happen occasionally, but the backups, if you have enough backups, you're fine.
There's only one spot that we chased our tails to get to in Utah. Yeah. But we ended up with a really nice drive. Other than that one time, we haven't gone any further than maybe a mile. We aren't really adding a whole lot of extra gas mileage or anything on top of that number. It really shows you on the west of the US, you don't need a whole lot of money to dump and fill water, especially in Utah.
Yeah, Utah was great for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Utah. All right. Category number 5. We did not stay at too many RV parks, so we tried to boondock and camp for free as much as possible while traveling. In Arizona, specifically in one area around Lake Pleasant, we did have a little issue trying to find a free place to dump and fill. But they had a lovely campsite that we pulled into and we dumped and filled and have a lovely evening for a total of $22.
I really like the view next to that lake. Our lake view was literally a half a mile away when we were sitting at the shoreline. The lake shrank quite a bit.
We stayed at the Washington Lighthouse RV Park for a grand total of $243.76. So for about 4 days, we had full hookup. This is the very first time that we had full hookup. It was very luxurious and very comfy living. We did indulge when we were on Victoria Island and in Canada a little bit because that was kind of our vacation. We had family come stay with us, so we wanted everyone to be comfortable. In Canada, we're just gonna lump all this together. So this total includes Crazy Creek, Dickinson Farm, Brennan Lake, and Weir's RV. So for just a few RV parks, all those together, all of Canada camping was $1,774.33.
Those hurt
Yeah.
a little bit. Even though we said when we got to Canada, we were going to kind of live it up a little bit. Staying at RV parks, it's expensive. And it's an expense I have a hard time paying when we're full of solar and we can have our water last us just over 3 weeks. So we don't need an RV park. All we need is a place to park it.
Yeah.
Paying for something like that, if that's something that you don't have to do, you could save that, for gas or something else for your next year.
The majority of that expense was over the span of just a couple months, 2 months maybe.
Yeah.
But if we do break it down per month, that's a total of $177.39.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching. Oh, you get to do food?
Well, we get to do food.
We get to do food.
If you know us, if you've been watching, one, you know that we love donuts. You know that we love food. And we don't eat out a lot. We make a lot of our own food. This brilliant, gorgeous chef here keeps us fed, but we don't eat out a lot. We go to stores like Costco, Walmart, and we've gone through a few others that are just miscellaneous on the way because there are no big chains. I was thinking that this was going to be the largest amount out of anything, and I think it is. But I think I'm okay with it because we've eaten really well. I had to go on a diet and I had to lose 5 pounds. We've done very little takeout. We've done a little Costco pizza here and there. We got Thai food.
Arizona has good Thai food.
Katie had to have an ice cream one day. So we had to pull over, have an ice cream. Sometimes you gotta give your girl in the passenger seat a little treat if she's bored out of her mind.
It was such a hot day. Sometimes you just want to have a little dipped cone with the crunchy chocolate.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I agree.
Thank you for that. So the total for takeout was $234.07. It wasn't too much. I know a lot of other people spend a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
On that.
So Costco, cruising those samples, going down those aisles for those big boxes filled with food. That brought us to $1,855.52.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
With all the bulk items you can buy and how long like a box of crackers lasts us. Getting the giant chunks of meat. As soon as we get back and settled into camp, Katie's taken that meat and just immediately cooked it up, put it into something, freezed it. And that way we've got food for, a month later or a period in time later when we're kind of both tired and don't want to deal with food, because we all get that way. That's usually when you go to takeout, but don't do it. Don't do it.
I guess having those meals in the freezer that you could just thaw and cook really prevented a lot of takeouts because it was easy just to literally take it out of the freezer and microwave it.
Yeah.
And it was food that we prepared. We knew exactly what was in it. We were debating whether we should get that Costco membership or not. And seeing the numbers now, and we spent most of our money for food at Costco.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that we were able to go to so many Costcos that it was our biggest number one store to spend our bucks at.
Yeah, yeah, and that is including the Costco membership.
Okay.
So
And we got the basic gold star bottom of the rung,
yeah,
right?
to make up for the things that we couldn't get at Costco, we went to Walmart. Obvious choice because they're everywhere. Walmart gave us the little things, when we run out of fruit, run out of vegetables, easy spot to just check and see what's fresh, what's within our price range. We spent $1,097 at the Walmart.
And another reason we went to Walmart is that we knew how big their parking lots were. Every single time we would check Google Maps just to make sure it was a huge parking lot that we could maneuver our gigantic fifth wheel in. And every single time it was completely fine.
And then the other miscellaneous stores, we spent $295, leaving us a total of
$3,482.63. That is $302.83 for two grown adults to eat while boondocking the majority of the time.
Here's the category that I was really expecting to be huge.
Quick, like a Band-Aid, it's gas. 2,000.
Part of the reason being is because we got off of a sailboat. We filled up our sailboat gas tank 3 times, I think, in the months that we were on it. We powered everywhere by wind, so it wasn't an expense. But now hitting land, gas was going to be an important expense to keep track of. I kept track of the mileage for every place that we stayed to the next place, average fuel mileage.
There was one hill. We went through like half our tank of death.
Yeah, I mean,
Holy shit.
There is a crazy hill in Canada on the Trans-Canada Highway. It's gotta be 20 miles long at a 7% grade. We saw people falling off on the wayside. We saw a burnt down car.
Yeah, so if you're driving a diesel vehicle in Canada in the beautiful, scenic, lovely mountains, have DEF, top off on DEF, and have extra just in case.
Any place that you're driving around in that has elevation changes, or a lot of them, or long versions of them, that's when your diesel is going to be burning the most DEF.
Because you're definitely going to need it.
Yes, she's mine. You can't have her. Mavics were the biggest savings gas-wise. So with Mavericks, we spent $517. While in Canada, Canada goes by liters, so it was hard for me to track it mentally, but I still wrote it all down and calculated it. I was kind of surprised how expensive Canadian gas was. They have more oil on their territory than anywhere on the planet, supposedly. I heard this. Our total for Canadian gas, $538 for the 2 months that we were there. That hurt. And
it was a lot of elevation change too. So do you think that kind of...
Big time. So our gas total, $2,335.90.
So how much does that break down per month for the gas?
So breakdown, that gives us $203.12 a month.
Just to go. It's only going to get more expensive too.
All depending on which way we're going.
Oh.
Make sure you like and subscribe to see where we're going next. Just a real quick note, our average fuel mileage was 11.76 miles per gallon. We usually tow empty. We try to dump and have a limited amount of water when we go from boondocking spot to boondocking spot. Towing with no liquids in your RV is a huge difference.
So accounting for all these categories that we just went over, the grand total is $15,937.29.
Nobody ever likes to hear a number that big.
No.
at one time. Nobody just likes it. It doesn't matter. You just $15,000 for the whole year.
So if we break that down per month, it chops that number up a little bit better.
Makes it more palatable.
A little more palatable. And it brings that number down to $1,385.82 per month. That's cheaper than the rent we ever paid in California.
That's cheaper than the rent.
For a 1-bedroom apartment in Southern California. That's to do everything. That's to eat food and live. And if you plan on doing the similar thing we did, the numbers will be similar to you.
Hopefully this helps you guys. There's definitely a way to make this less expensive. You just got to tailor it around what you want. The first year, I might say that it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve in fine-tuning your rig. But once you're there...
Let us know if there are any other categories you want to see in the future or any tips or anything. And if you guys have any tips for us, please let us know. And everyone else down there in the comments. It's really important, and we just want to help as many people out there with this video. Because we know when we first started, we watched every video we could get our hands on.
If anybody's interested in all of the boondocking spots that we stayed, I have it in a spreadsheet. Leave a comment below, and if people want it, I guess I'll just put it up in the community tab.
And please like and subscribe if this was helpful for you guys and you want to check out our future adventures.
All right, guys. Thanks.